Welcome viewers to my YouTube channel, Spiritual Talk with a new name today. And
Namaskar.
Namaskar, Karthik. I would like to welcome Karthik in today's talk show. As usual, feeling great and top of the world to have you in the show. And going
Thank you very much, Tribhuvan. Same here. In fact, I also feel the same top of the world feeling when I come online in your show. And definitely, it has been quite encouraging for me to see the kind of responses which our four earlier talk shows have received from from the social media friends. Definitely look forward to many more such interaction and contribution to the friends.
great. And as usual, I have a great feeling that today is also going to be a great learning from you, Karthik. And viewers, today's topic is really going to be a special and part of all of us life, which is success and failure. And there are a lot of misconceptions around the success and failure, which we thought we will discuss, and we will try to get the Karthik view and to clarify the misconceptions around that. So that was the whole agenda. And friends, the life of all of us is assessed us on the basis of our success and failure, and it has a huge impact on the lives of all of us mentally, psychologically. Today we will discuss this topic and try to understand so that the psychological pressure on us because of our success and failure can be work out well. तो थोड़ा सा इसको हिंदी में भी मैं अपने दोस्तों को बताना चाहता हूं कि हम सब की जिंदगियों में हमारी सफलता, असफलता, ये सब चीजों की कसौटियों पर हमको कसा जाता है, और हम सबों की जिंदगियों में मानसिक रूप से इसका बहुत बड़ा असर पड़ता है। तो आज इसी विषय के ऊपर मैं ये चर्चा कार्तिक के साथ करने जा रहा हूं, और हम कोशिश करते हैं कि इन सब चीजों को कैसे हमें लाइफ में लेना चाहिए और कैसे हम इसको मैनेज कर सकते हैं। तो स्ट्रेट वे आई एम मूविंग टू द माय फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, कार्तिक, टू यू. Today's topic is understand the misunderstanding about the success and failure. The topic seems very interesting. However, can you kindly explain this topic little bit for my viewers?
Thank you, Tribhuvanji. So before I explain the topic, let me ask something. When two people play a game, what can be the outcome? One person wins, the other loses, or the game ends in a draw. Many a times, even if the game ends in a draw, some criteria is used to choose a winner, like a Duckworth-Lewis criteria, or the way a tiebreaker is handled in tennis match. Eventually, one person wins, another person loses. So let's understand one thing. Just because one person won the game, will you call that he is a success? And just because the other person loses, will you call him a failure? If that is what we perceive as success and failure, I would like to clarify here that's wrong. That's a wrong notion which we all have got. Let's understand one thing. Success is not the opposite of failure, and failure is not the opposite of success. Both success and failure are the byproduct of the journey called life. So, in the entire journey of life, what is life journey all about? Life journey is all about a series of decisions we make. Some decision clicks, some decision don't.
Correct.
Just
Absolutely.
because one decision clicks, we perceive it as success. Just because one decision doesn't click or the outcome is unfavorable, we perceive that as failure. Both the perceptions are wrong. They are not opposite of each other, as I explained earlier. Both are outcome, both are byproduct. Just as the way winning and losing are the outcomes of a game, success and failures are the byproduct of this journey called life. And that is why I chose the topic understand the misunderstanding about success and failure. Because this misunderstanding has devastated many lives,
Yeah.
has devastated lives of many children. And there are children who have gone ahead to commit suicide just because they perceived themselves as a failure. So I thought I will take this as an opportunity to talk to our social media friends and throw this light about what we call as success and failure and clarify the misconceptions.
Good. So, the thing is, no one can, even I never realized that there is any misconceptions around the success and failure, right? So, probably the similar thought the people also have. So, can you some light on the misconception about the success? Let's start with the success first.
Sure, Tribhuvan. So the first, there are many misconceptions about success. So before we tell what is a success and what is a failure, let's first take this as an opportunity to define what is not a success. And once we clarify what is not a success and what is not a failure, after that we will it will be good for us to step after that to say what is success and what is failure. So,
Hmm.
the first misconception about success, which we all need to understand and to come to terms with, is that there is something called as false sense of success. And this is one attitude which we all need to get away with. So, when I say false sense of success, I mean past laurels.
Yeah,
I might have been a super performer yesterday, but what has that to do today?
absolutely.
I might have had a well built body and I might have had the capability to do 100 push ups in 15 minutes. When? That was 10 years back. So that was success 10 years back. I can't claim the success today. If I am able to do 100 push ups in 15 minutes today, then I have the right to claim the success for that. Otherwise, yesterday, it is yesterday's success which has been applauded yesterday and done away with. I can take inspiration from that. I can move forward in life with that inspiration, but I cannot claim that as today's success. So that is what I call as false sense of success, which we all need to get away with.
Yeah.
For example, let's take an example. Roger Federer was Wimbledon men's single finals winner of 2017.
Hmm.
That accomplishment of Roger Federer was of 2017. Even if he has the highest Wimbledon men's title today, I may be wrong also.
Hmm.
That doesn't make him uh, that doesn't give him the right to enjoy that as accomplishment of today. If you ask what is today's reality is that 2018, 2019, and 2021 finals of Wimbledon has been taken away by Djokovic. So just because Roger Federer had the highest number of Wimbledon which he had won till 2017 doesn't necessarily give him the advantage to claim the success for 2019 2021. Why? Because that 2017 success is 2017 success. It doesn't give 1% advantage in 2021. It doesn't give one. It won't give 1% advantage to Roger Federer in 2022. He will be back to zero where he starts, and whosoever succeeds in 2022 is the winner.
Correct.
Even Djokovic, who won the 2018, 2019, 2021 Wimbledon men's single finals, doesn't get 1% advantage in 2022. Past laurels don't deserve celebration today. Past laurels give a false sense of success. What I accomplished yesterday is yesterday's accomplishment. It doesn't deserve the applause today. If I can make the same accomplishment today and surpass my expectations, I have the right to claim I deserve to seek applause for that as today's success. success and failures are like milestones and speed breakers. You cross the milestones, feel great about the milestone, and go on. You don't carry the milestone on your shoulder.
Absolutely.
Just because I crossed a speed breaker, it was just a caution for me. I just understand I have crossed a speed breaker and I give go on. Just because I crossed a speed breaker doesn't mean I stop the journey. So
Correct.
is the case with what we call as failure. So just because one success, one failure doesn't necessarily mean that that is the be all and end all of life. So
Absolutely.
which is what is the first misconception which I clarified, which is the false sense of success.
Absolutely. And it reminds me, Karthik, that गीता का एक बहुत फेमस श्लोक है जो सब जानते भी हैं। कर्मण्ये वाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्म फल हेतु भूर में ते संगोस्त्व कर्मणि। तो चैप्टर 2 वर्सेस 47 में ये डिफाइंड है, एंड इट मीन्स वी हैव अधिकार और राइट over our action, but no right to control over its result. Let not the
Yes,
let not the potential result be the motive of action, and do not get attached to inaction either. So this is the meaning of this sloka. And if you look at the real life examples such as these abound, only proves the success and failure to have a self life. Hence Krishna says, do not worry too much success and failure. Do what you must to do, give it your best. He said, become yogi, achieve excellence.
hmm,
उन्होंने बोला
hmm.
योगः कर्मसु कौशलम. He says, and after you have given your best, whatever be the result, accept it and move on. What matter is the worthiness of your fight, how you fought. That is the matter, right? And that is in our hand. So यही उन्होंने बोला कर्मण्य वाधिकारस्य, that is in your hand. So that's basically गीता का ये जो ज्ञान है, knowledge है, that complements what you stated above. So straightway moving to the next question, Karthik, what other misconceptions do we have about the success? Because there are a lot of misconception around the success.
Definitely. So the first misconception which we spoke about few minutes back is the false sense of success.
Yeah,
The second misconception which you all need to overcome is the borrowed success.
correct.
When I say borrowed success, I mean that success of somebody else. M- My success alone is my success. I cannot claim the credit of success that belongs to somebody else.
Mm, true.
It reminds me of once I was traveling in a flight from Chennai to Mumbai,
Okay.
and the same flight along with me, there was a very successful cine personality was sorry, a very successful sports personality was sitting,
Mm,
and along with that personality was sitting his own wife. And throughout the travel, the sports person who was a super success, he absolutely kept his calm and poise and sat as if he is yet another traveler in the flight.
mm,
And his wife, who was sitting next to him,
mm,
was throwing all the weight around, which is what I call as borrowed success.
mm,
What credit, what right do we have to claim the credit for the success that belongs to somebody else?
mm.
My parents might have been a great success, but that is my parents' success. I don't have the right to claim
Absolutely.
the credit for that success. My son, when he grows and he makes a success, that is his success. Even if I have done everything which has made it possible for him to bring the success. Even if I stand as a pillar behind that, that doesn't that doesn't negate the fact that it is his success and not my success.
Mm.
And if I come to terms with that particular reality, I can be peaceful in life and I can ensure that even if I am the pillar behind his success or her success, I don't trade the credit for that particular success. Many homemakers, especially in India,
Mm.
do this mistake.
Mm.
They they claim that their husband's success, their children's success wouldn't have been possible without them making all the sacrifices in their life. Even if that is the reality, that doesn't give them the right to take the credit for the husband's success or children's success. It is their success and not the success of the homemaker.
Absolutely true, very much true. And yeah.
And as I talk about this misconception, I also want to clarify about the third misconception about success,
Mm.
which is called as hollow success or empty success. So,
Mm.
what I call as hollow success or empty success is when I am successful, however, I am not able to enjoy my own success,
Mm.
then it's a useless success or a hollow success.
Mm.
Why I'm not able to enjoy? Because I'm busy into too many things. So
Mm.
I do something, even if I'm successful, I don't have the time to step back and enjoy my own success. I just go busy into some other activity.
Mm.
That is why the sports people have have a concept called as running the victory lap.
Mm.
If you take the case of the Olympics, the
Mm.
one who wins the gold medal for 100-meter dash, he completes the race in 9 minutes and some seconds.
Mm.
Sorry, 9 point some seconds.
Mm.
100-meter in nine point some seconds, whatever it is. Less
Mm.
than 10 seconds, 100 meter is completed.
Mm.
And the entire practice of 5 years of effort gets judged within a span of less than 10 minutes, 10 seconds.
Mm.
But the 10 seconds accomplishment, he doesn't stop there. He runs through the entire ground. He runs, enjoys the applause of the crowd,
Mm.
and then deepens his own sense of victory.
Mm.
And after that only he goes and seeks the medal, and after that only he goes and starts the practice for the next Olympic.
Mm.
So that is what I call as running the victory lap, and that is when you actually enjoy your own success. Otherwise, it becomes an empty success or a hollow success.
Correct.
There is a second form of empty success is called as even if I succeed, even if the whole world believes I succeeded, but I don't believe I deserve that success. In that case, what happens? I don't enjoy the success. And when I don't enjoy that success, it becomes a hollow success or an empty success.
Correct. Correct. So very good takeaway from this your explanation, Karthik. One thing is your tomorrow's success could not be is your today's success. So keep on going. That is the first thing. Second, what you said, your success is your success. Anybody else, if you want to take the advantage, that is not the real success of your life. So very good, well taken. I think viewers will able to understand. So we have speak a lot of on the success now. Quickly, I would like to ask you, can you give some clarity on the misinterpretation about the failure? Let's talk about something the failure, because that is also the success is always give you the pleasure, right? Whatever it is in reason, whether it is a past, whether it is a you are today, but it gives you pleasure. Now is the another important thing is the failure.
Yes, Tribhuvan, you have well said. As far as success is concerned, even if it's a false sense of success or a borrowed success, it still gives an opportunity to feel the pleasure for it.
Yeah,
However, when it comes to failure,
correct.
it always puts pressure on us.
Yeah.
It always puts a person down. So, even more understanding the misperception about failure is even more important than understanding the misperception about success.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Similar to the success, failure also has got three misinterpretations.
Mm.
So, what are they? The first misinterpretation of failure is called as false sense of failure. What is false sense of failure? I believe I have succeeded.
Hmm.
I believe I have succeeded, however, and I am enjoying my success.
Hmm.
And because I am enjoying my success, I want to see others around me,
Hmm.
my loved ones, my dear and near and dear, my parents, my wife, my children. I want all of them to enjoy my success,
Correct.
celebrate my success. At the same time, what happens is they want to enjoy my success, they want to celebrate my success. However, they want to celebrate it their way.
Hmm.
They want to enjoy life their way. And I want to enjoy life my way.
Hmm.
And when I want to enjoy life my way, I am not able to see others enjoying the life the way I want them to enjoy life. That doesn't necessarily make me a failure. I need to understand everybody have got their own choices. Everybody have got their own nature. Everybody have got their own temperament. Everybody wants to enjoy the life their way.
Hmm.
Everybody wants to enjoy the success of the loved ones the way they want to enjoy it. Just because the way they want to enjoy my success is different from the way I want to enjoy my success, that doesn't make me a failure.
Hmm.
So, only to say, for example, for when I want to enjoy success by going to hill station, by going to forest, by going to see nature, I feel that I am enjoying my success.
Hmm.
If I ask my mother, she prefers going to temple, going to religious places, dharmic karma. When she does, that gives her the sense of enjoyment and pleasure.
Hmm. Hmm.
Just because she is not coming to where I go, I want to go picnic, I want to take my family to beaches or to jungles or to nature. Just because my parents are not able to come
Hmm.
the way I want them to enjoy, that doesn't make me a failure. They like going to temple, it's better I send them across to temple and feel that they are enjoying my success.
Correct.
That is the first misinterpretation which we all need to understand. Just because my loved ones do not enjoy my success the way I want them to enjoy, that doesn't make me a failure. They are enjoying my success the way they want to enjoy success, and I should look at that and see fulfillment in that.
Hmm.
When I see fulfillment in that, I definitely absolve myself of
Hmm.
this misperception which is called as false sense of failure.
Hmm. True. True.
Apart from this, there is another misperception which people have got, which especially when it comes to parents.
Hmm.
And what many parents think is that my children disobey me. Let's understand one thing. Just because children disobey their parents doesn't necessarily make the parents as a failure. The way I have an intelligence, and the way I have the right to perceive things my way and see the future I want to see, that doesn't necessarily mean that my children should also see through my spectacles. They have their intelligence.
Hmm.
They have their own outlook to life. They have their own way to see what they want to see. They have their own way to construct their future.
Hmm.
And just because the way they want to construct their future differs from the way I want them to construct their future, that doesn't necessarily make my children a failure. I should feel happy and feel fulfilled that my children have the right to think about their life the way they want to do it, live. And that should give me a sense of success and not make give me a sense of failure.
Hmm.
Now the question is, just because they have an approach and that approach clicks, it is their success.
Hmm.
That we all will agree.
Hmm.
What if they take an approach and that approach doesn't click?
Hmm.
Does it make them a failure? Definitely not.
Hmm.
What will I do? I will go right at the place where they have tripped and fallen, give my hand, support him, make him stand on his leg, and then say, "You have just tripped and fallen. That doesn't mean you have fallen in life. Just get up and walk from here."
Hmm.
And and it is even if it's a failure, it is just a momentary failure and not a failure of their life. They can pick up from there and write their new story and march towards their success. And that, if I'm able to achieve, that is the real sense of success for me. Because
True.
I have made him take the journey of his success, define the journey the way he want to define, support him in that journey, and make him walk in the journey of his life and make it a success.
Hmm.
So, so let's understand one thing. When there is no bigger speed breaker in one's success or in one's growth than overcoming the speed breaker called as fear of failure.
True.
Many people become indecisive at the point when they encounter themselves with the fear of failure.
Hmm.
And that indecision is the first step towards failure. If I am able to go to my son and say, hey, even if you fail, it will be a momentary failure, so proceed.
Hmm.
Proceed in the journey.
Correct.
And eventually you will take yourself to success. If I am able to make my children overcome their fear of failure, that itself is the first step of their life journey toward their success, and that is the real success which I can claim as a parent, that I have made my children overcome their fear of failure.
Correct. True. Very much true.
So now let's go to the third misconception about failure.
Hmm.
And the third misconception about failure is my inability to live by others' definition of success and failure.
Hmm.
Just because the whole world has certain definition of success and failure, and I don't conform to their definition, that doesn't make me a failure. If I am able to understand that, that itself relieves me from the pressure of failure. In fact, there is a age-old saying which says, "सबसे बड़ा दुनिया का रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग."
Ah. True. True. सही है.
सबसे बड़ा दुनिया का रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग.
Correct.
Let people say what they want to say. I will live the life I want to live.
Correct.
And that if I do that, then what will happen is I will be in a position to clearly overcome the others' definition of success and failure and clearly ensure their definition is their definition, that doesn't define my success and failure. My definition of success and failure alone defines my success and failure, and when I live by that,
Hmm.
then it gives me, that ensures whether I am really a success or I am a failure. Either ways, it is my choice. And when I live the life as defined by me and not by others' definition,
Hmm.
I definitely overcome this third misperception about failure, which is called as inability to live by the definition of others.
Correct. Absolutely. So I think the key take, Karthik, for me at least, with this conversation is on this particular failure is, and that is the relevant as well. I think we deal with that similar way. Fear of failure is more dangerous than your actual failure,
Yes,
because other, if you have the uh, uh, fear on the failure, you will not even start any your action activity and the moment you need to start. So that is the key things which I am understanding, that if you remove
Tribhuvan,
that. Yeah.
Tribhuvan,
Yeah.
this is exactly what Lord Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita to Arjun.
Yeah.
Wrong action is better than inaction,
In action.
because if you take wrong action, there is a possibility for you to understand that your action was wrong and you can correct it.
Correct.
But if you go to inaction, you will never know the outcome of the inaction. And by the time you know the outcome of the inaction, life would have crossed far too far, and the possibility for you to correct what you have missed, you already lose that opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So moving to the next question, Karthik, what is the failure in real sense actually for your in anyone's life?
Tribhuvan, you have now hit the nail at the right place right now. We have, till now, we have clarified about what is not a success and what is not a failure.
Failure,
So
correct?
let's talk about what is failure in real sense.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the example which we picked up in the beginning of the talk.
Mm-hmm.
When two people play a game, one person wins, one person loses.
Mm.
Does it mean, does it mean just because the one person won the game, does it make him a success? Just because the other person lost the game, does it make him a failure?
Mm.
This is the question which I asked in the beginning. Let me revisit that question once again.
Mm.
If I say the one who has won is a success and one who has lost is a failure, I am actually wrong.
Mm.
If you ask me who is a failure or who is a success, I would say both winning and losing are the outcome of the process called game, and so is the case with life. Then, what is a failure? I have a desire to do something. However, I am scared to move ahead in that direction because of the fear of my failure. What if I take the step forward and I trip and fall? And this fear puts me into a shell, and that shell doesn't allow me to move forward in life, doesn't allow me to take any decision, doesn't allow me to proceed. In my view, if you ask me, that person is a real failure. The one who had the opportunity to take the decision to move forward and he was scared of failure, so he did not move forward. That person, according to me, is a failure. Some other person who also had the same fear, however, had the courage to go beyond his sense of beyond his fear of failure, and that irrespective of what is the outcome of that particular decision. If you ask me, he is a success. Why? Because the first winning he got was he won over the fear of failure. According to me, that itself is a success.
True.
So, when two people compete in a game, if you ask me, irrespective of who wins or who loses, according to me, both of them are success.
Absolutely.
The one who feared failure and did not move forward, who have the courage to move forward, according to me, he is the failure.
True.
If you ask me, if you ask me, the king of clay court, Rafael Nadal, who has the maximum number of men's French Open wins, if you ask me, in 2021 he lost to Djokovic. Does it make Nadal a sense of Nadal a failure? Definitely not. If
No.
I call Nadal as a failure because of that, I'll be totally naive. I'll be totally stupid. He had. Does it make Nadal is the best player? Definitely not. There may be so many players who had better capability than Nadal, who had the better capability than Nadal, but did not move forward into the arena because of their fear of failure. If you ask me, they are the real failure.
Absolutely. True. Correct. So मुझे इसी से ना एक स्वामी विवेकानंद की बुक में आई वॉज रेड वन कोट आई जस्ट वॉन्ट टू कोट एंड अनकोट दैट एग्जैक्टली what is written by Vivekananda is never mind failures. They are quite natural. They are the beauty of life. These failures. What would life be without them? उसके बाद बहुत कुछ he has explained it. तो वो
Hmm.
उसकी बुक में हम पढ़ सकते हैं. So, but that is the reality of our life. Basically, failure and success are the both side of same coin, right?
Mm.
So that's, if one understand, then probably that fear of failure, we can come out of it. So now we are proceeding to the almost end of this conversation, Karthik. The last but not least, what I want to ask on this context is, how should one live their life beyond the success and failure? That is important, because neither the your success should give you that much, I would say, people start feeling arrogant, and the similar way, if the failure will get you demotivated towards the other action. So how we can live without these success and failure?
You have asked the right question at the right time. So I would say, let life be a journey.
Hmm.
Let life be a journey. Let it have milestones and speed breakers. Let success and failures be the punctuation in a poetry. That should never become the let success or failure not be, let no success or failure be a full stop on the sentence of life. They should actually act like a punctuation. Okay, one success I crossed, I move forward. One failure I encountered, I move forward. That is the way life journey should be there. Let life journey be punctuated by milestones and speed breakers in the name of success and failure. Let them not define the journey.
Correct.
And as you had pointed the Vivekananda's quote, in the same place, Vivekananda also says, let success not hit your head,
Hmm.
let failure not break your heart.
Hmm.
So,
I read that.
I definitely feel what he wanted to say is, let you not be, let success not feed your ego,
Hmm.
let failure not be a demotivator of anybody's life. I say, when at the point of decision, a person had the fear of failure, and he had the courage to encounter the fear of failure and cross.
Hmm.
That itself is the first success, because he has already made the victory in his head and moved forward. That itself is the first success. And once you go forward in life in the same direction, what happens? You will occasionally encounter success, you will occasionally encounter failure, and you still move on in life. In
Hmm.
fact, I will end the conversation with a small story here.
Hmm.
In fact, so happened that there was one interviewer who went to somebody who is a wise man, somebody who is considered to be a super success.
Hmm.
He went there and asked that person, what is the secret behind your success?
Hmm.
And the great man said, it is right decisions. The interviewer got excited. He asked, how have you been able to make the right decisions in your life?
Hmm.
The great person said, it's experience. The interviewer asked him, so what is the secret behind your experience? He said, wrong decisions.
Absolutely.
So let the journey of life be a series of decisions. Let that some decisions click, let some decisions don't. Just because a decision clicked or failed doesn't make somebody a success or a failure. Let success and failures be the punctuations of life. Let success and failures be the milestones and speed breakers of life. One just moves on both from success and failure. Let success and failure both keep motivating and contribute to maturity of a person, and let life be led beyond the success and failure, and that is what will make somebody live a holistic life, a life of fulfillment.
Absolutely. Great. So, लगता तो ये है कि we can continue this discussion, but anyway, we have the timeline and foundations and commitment with the viewers, so we have to keep it little short. So it was a nice talking, Karthik, to you, and I hope my viewers will get benefited with these spiritual talks, what we are doing it. And today's session, of course, I can request my viewers, if they have any questions, they can send it to me on my YouTube channel, so that I can address those. And sometime we will try to get those questions in some sessions. On all our previous session, what we have done it, I will try to summarize those, and probably we can answer those questions. So that is what I would like to thanks my viewers, and thank you the viewers, those who are with me on the live on the Facebook, and I would like to thanks to them as well. And with this note, Karthik, once again, thank you so much to giving me your valuable time. हम फिर next time we will meet in some other session. Thank you so much, viewers. Thank you so much, Karthik. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you, Tribhuvan, and thank you, viewers. Love you so much. Bye.